At the heart of a beautiful land where a basic necessity has become a lifetime struggle. Sonuto is a community located in Agbazom in the Volta region of Ghana, blessed with a beautiful lagoon that gives the villagers the opportunity to fish. They also mine salt when it is drying up. Amid the resources from the land, Sonuto community lacks portable water, due to the salt content of the land.
The water from the lagoon are sometimes used to generate salt, due to the amount of salt content. Imagine using water that is likely to turn into salt. The land became very salty in recent years, making residents very worried about the current condition of their water bodies. The call for clean water all these years yields no relevant result to the villagers. They have difficulties in cooking, whilst the food turns more salty beyond expected. It's even worse when the villagers use the water to wash and bath because it doesn't moisturize. They struggle to get drinking water for themselves and their kids.
Their source of water comes from wells and streams that are not just tainted with salt but also filthy, filled with toads, tadpoles, and many other varieties of living creatures, making the water unsafe to drink, bath, cook, and wash with.
The water is very salty. When we use it to cook, the food turns salty. When we use it to wash, it doesn't moisturize. And when we use it to bath, it doesn't moisturize, but even irritate our skin a lot with a couple of skin diseases. It doesn't even cook beans at all. The salty water has been there for a very long time. Even when you wash with it, do not moisturize, and makes us lose a lot of soap. I really want tap water in our community, so we can also and be happy and wash, drink, bath, and cook with no problems. That's what we need. We cannot afford sachet water because it's too expensive. That's why we really need tap water. The soap doesn't moisturize with the water at all. It makes us waste lots of soap. Sometimes we resort to some locally made soap.
Moreover, the salty and filthy water is available for the villagers only in the rainy seasons. All dependable water streams and wells are dried up during dry seasons.
Even the bow holes that were mounted in the community by government suddenly broke down. They could not produce water any longer. The situation has forced many people out of the village to find solace in the city. Even when they come down to the village, they return instantly because they don't want to be baffled with the water crisis. The wells in the village are very old and unreliable. It's also dangerous when drawing water from some of them sometimes. Most especially when it is dry season. The big dents and cracks all over the wells through to the inside poses a severe danger to the users. In times when there is complete shortage of water, some people have to go deep inside the well to restore some water by digging deep into it, which is very stressful and dangerous. Sometimes they get hurt in the process. The situation is such a devastating one for the community.
They toil for water even though it is not clean, waking up every dawn, fill the streams and well sides with bunch of pans and bucket to draw water has become the hallmark of women and children, especially school children. Everyday children and adults bear the burden of fetching water as they journey to the nearby communities with their bucket and pans to get clean water for their households. Others also use tracks which are loaded with gallons of water from other communities. This could be a convenience way to bring clean water to their homes, but it also comes with a cost.
There is no other source of water around here aside from this one. This is the nature of the water. It is not clean, but we drink it sometimes. It also contains some amount of salt. It doesn't moisturize anyway, but we manage. Sometimes we journey to the neighboring communities to fetch water with gallons on motorbikes and tracks to our houses. This well has been here for a very long time. It is rainy season, which is why you can see some water in here. It's the only well in this area, which is why many households depend on.
The lack of clean, potable water threatens the future of this community. Without access to safe water, education suffers. School kids have to go through all kinds of struggles just to get water to bath before school, which deepens lateness and delays academic progress. Education is a cornerstone for breaking the cycle of poverty. But when students are sick, their dreams are put on hold. The economic impacts ripple through the community, limiting opportunities and growth. The lack of clean water has a devastating impact on the health of the community. Children are especially vulnerable, suffering from waterborne illnesses that stunt their growth and development. The toil for clean water has compelled some parents to bath their children with contaminated water, which increase the risk of waterborne diseases.
When I became an assembly member, I spotted some challenges, especially water crisis. Immediately, I discussed it with my leaders in the district assembly to find solution to the pressing water crisis in our community, so we conducted an estimate to bring piped water from our neighboring community. We took to some media houses to make our voice held by volunteers who can help us. To be sure about our situation, Sun City radio station crew came down to witness how serious our situation is. We walked around from wells to streams, and also some boreholes installed in the community. They noticed that the water in some of our streams and wells was just like the color of my shirt. Therefore, the youth has come together, not giving up on our struggles, but to help continue our pursuit on the agenda of bringing piped water to the community. But to achieve this, we need to raise money for the project, so we thought about Easter Festival as a medium to raising money, which we celebrated in 2023 and 2024, respectively. The water in our community is so bad to the extent that you cannot sleep well when you bath it. Even when you cook with it, the food becomes salty if you're not careful. Moreover, this water isn't available at all time. Children go to school late, they wake up with their buckets at 3 am and toil for water. Even at 9:30 to 10:30 am these children are still at the stream side fighting for water. This has made our lives so difficult. We buy gallons of water from far away town. Each gallon costs 10 Ghana cedis. Some people buy a lot, but how to convey it home is costly. Sometimes we resort to bathing sachet water. All these are strong challenges we are facing. Our mothers, when they come from the market or the lagoon, it's so hard for them to get water to bath and even cook for their children. Water crisis is really frustrating us. Even before we start the ICT lab project, we made big holes before we were able to get some water for the project, because the streams and wells are practically dried up. We couldn't get water from elsewhere. It will cause us so much more if we should buy it from our neighbors. We certainly do not want to see the next generation go through the ordeal we are going through now. Additionally, people living in the city could not come home with their friends. Even when they come, they don't spend much time with us because we won't get them clean water to drink and bath. I even ran a thorough check on all the boreholes in the community to identify why they couldn't produce water, and found out all the metals buried in the earth rusted due to the salt content of our land, which is why we are so desperate to bringing piped water for everybody to use.
Chiefs and elders of the community are worried about the devastating nature of the water bodies in the community, and therefore calling for immediate intervention. Water issue is our outcry in this community. It wasn't that bad in some years back. The lagoon was just fine, likewise our water streams and wells. The salt processing company that was established recently has aggravated our water crisis. The chemicals they use have tainted our water streams and wells. Our only source of water is from the earth, but since it has been saturated with the chemicals, everything has been ruined. We celebrated festivals to raise money, which was saved since then, but not enough. To get water to drink or bath now, unless it rains. If we could get support from individuals or organizations, we will be very grateful and God will surely bless them. The water problem has been there for a long time. We suffer for water so much. My people has contributed and saved some money at the bank. Later on, we wrote a letter to the district assembly to support us to combat the pressing water issues, but they couldn't help us. All I could say is the problem has always been there. That is why we are just announcing to everyone, and we will be very grateful if we could get someone to help us.
The community has come together, united by the common dream of having clean, accessible water. They have a plan to bring piped water to their community, but they cannot do it alone.
In the year 2023, the youth of the community has formed a group called Sonuto Youth Association for Development. SIDA. This is to bring development to the community. And their first project is to bring clean water to the people through fund-raising initiative to eradicate the water challenges that's limiting the growth of the community for so many years.
We realize that water is one thing that our people need badly. So we took it upon ourselves as an association to find a remedy for our water issues. As I speak, if you practically look behind me, you can see these are the sources of water we use. And it doesn't augur well for human beings to use this sort of water. So we have decided as an association to extend water from the township, that is Agbosume, to Sonto. So the estimate given to us by the experts estimated at 280,000 Ghana cedis thereabout. That is the amount of money we needed to be able to execute the project. So we have put in so many efforts. We call upon government in order to resolve this our so many decades water issue, but none of them would come to our aid. So like I said earlier, we initiated the association to take up some of these challenges. So we have been to so many places, and the allegation also is that from the chief and the elders of the community is that ever since the 7 Seas Company, which is a salt mining commission, came into being, it has affected our water systems, because normally we rely on streams which normally draw its sources of water from underground. So the allegation is that since the 7 Seas is also drawing its source of water for their salt project from underground. It made our wells dried up. Even at the point in time, our coconut trees were just falling off. And so we are appealing to all benevolent organizations, all NGOs, even government. We still plead with you to come to our aid. We are also human beings. We are Ghanaians. We are pleading with you to come to our aid. Look at this. You see, as a result, we have realized that using this water is not good for our well-being. And so we decided to put up the blocks in this, but still it doesn't work because the number of people that uses the water outweigh it. The reason why you can see plenty water behind me is that it's rainy season. A rain is supposed to be a blessing to us, and of course it has been, because that is where we get drinking water from. This water you can't drink. The best you can do is to wash with it because it's hard. It doesn't even lather with soap. You struggle to use it for bathing. So rain, which is supposed to be a blessing to us, rather tends to be a curse, because recently or last year the whole place flooded, and so all these our water sources will have to connect with other sewage and our toilets and all those things, and they were connected, and this can result into a breakout of so many diseases. And so we are just appealing, basically the people of Sonto through the Sonto Youth Association for Development is appealing to government, especially because we've been paying our dues. For God's sake, come to our aid. We can't sit down and let our people suffer this way. So through this initiative, we are once again pleading to benevolent organizations, NGOs, government, and whoever matter to come to our aid in order to resolve this our water crisis. In fact, this even affects our students. There is truancy, because if it were dry season, this water wouldn't have been here. You have to wake up 3 o'clock, line up until it gets your turn, and it affects our education. We saw what happened before. Once again, to wind up, we are pleading with everybody. No amount of money is too small. Whatever you give us, we can be able to manage it. So the estimate from the expert is 280,000 Ghana cedis.
Imagine a world where everyone in this village can drink, bath, cook and wash with clean water, where mothers no longer fear for their children's health, and where visitors can spend more days in the community and experience the beautiful nature of the environment. This vision can become a reality with your support. Join us in making a difference. Together, we can bring clean water to this community and countless others like it. Your contribution can turn the tide and bring life, health, and hope to the people of Sonuto.